Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. At the weekend, we saw Alycia Baumgardner whitewash Edith Matisse from Argentina, 41-year-old Edith Matisse. And that was the first defence of her WBC super featherweight title. And it was really a showcase for Alycia's skills. And she looked good doing it. She looked fine against a tough but, limited girl. Very, very tough girl, actually. Edith Matisse. They breed them tough in Argentina, as you know. But she's seen better days, Matisse, and Baumgardner did what she needed to do. Didn't get the stoppage, but totally dominated. And her arch rival, Mikaela Mayer, who had that absolutely incredible war with Maeva Hamadouche last year. If you haven't seen it, dig it out. It's a brilliant, crazy fight. Mikaela Mayer, the previous week, defended her 3 belts, her IBF, WBA and WBO titles. Oh, and Ring Magazine, I think, is in there as well. She defended them against Jennifer Hahn. And she won. It wasn't quite a whitewash. I think a couple of judges gave her a round or two, gave Jennifer Hahn a round or two. I made it 98-92 to Mikaela Mayer. I was going to do a review of this, actually, but I just didn't get the time to do it. But I thought I'd do a quick review of that fight now, because I think it's interesting to compare and contrast Baumgardner and Mikaela Mayer. So there's no doubt about it that Jennifer Hahn was a far more dangerous opponent than Edith Matisse. So that's a tick for Mikaela Mayer, if we are comparing and contrasting. Having said that, Jennifer Hahn, a former world champion in her own right, IBF super featherweight titleist, she made 3 defences and she gave up her belt to move up 2 divisions to lightweight to fight Katie Taylor. That was last year, and she lost. And Katie won the fight. Relatively easy to set up her big showdown with Amanda Serrano. But Jennifer Hahn, 38 now, so she's no spring chicken. I think Mikaela's 31. But Jennifer, she hadn't come to lose. She hadn't come to roll over. And it was really quite striking how much bigger Mikaela looked. She's a very big super featherweight, very tall, stands upright, high guard, well schooled, quite what you might call a traditional style. Not flat-footed, but keeps her feet pretty much on the ground and moves forward 1 foot at a time. She's got that. There's not a lot of bouncing up and down with Mikaela. You can't say the same about Hahn. So although Hahn was, in some respects, I wouldn't say dwarfed, but she did look at least 1 weight division smaller, she knew she had to move. She knew that she couldn't mix it up close, because the physical strength belonged to Mayer. And if you're in against a bigger fighter, you don't want them leaning all over you and taking your strength that way. So Hahn opted for the move a lot, side to side, skirt around the ring and fire pot shot counters, basically. And for a few rounds it worked, because Mikaela, first round, I thought Mikaela edged it, and there was a great deal in it. Second round, I thought Hahn probably edged that. I think that was one of the 2 rounds I gave her. Could have gone either way, but I think I gave it to Hahn. But most importantly of all, I think it was the second round where she cut Mikaela. It wasn't a big cut. It's on the corner of the left eye. The corner handled it well. It wasn't a big deal. But I think that's the first time that Mikaela's been cut in her career. And in the third round, I think, if I remember rightly, Jennifer had some more success with these little pot shots that she was doing. She's got fast hands. She's 38 years old, but still a lot of energy there. And she's not by no means a shot fighter. So after 3-4 rounds, I think it was a pretty even fight. But then Mikaela really started to go to work, and she was hunting down Jennifer, moving forward constantly. When she got her on the rope, she unloaded. There was some good body work, not enough of it. Could have used the jab a bit more. Was headhunting a bit much with the big right hand. But when she fires very, very good 1-2s, straight 1-2s, Mikaela Mayer. And I would have liked to have seen her set those up more with some body work. But it's easier said than done, because Hahn was moving. Jessica Hahn was moving around a lot, skipping around the ring. But of course, as the rounds go on, you get more and more tired, and the rounds were definitely going to Mikaela. So At no point really was Jennifer hurt, but she was sort of making Mikaela work, but not to the extent where Mikaela was ever threatened by anything. It wasn't a case of her trying to swat a fly that she couldn't reach. She was landing punches. It's just that Han with a few counters was staying in the fight, giving Mikaela something to think about. But gradually, as the fight went on, the rounds were being ticked, and it looked like Mikaela Mayer was going to win probably a decision without stopping her opponent. Then the 9th round came along, and for the first time, it looked to me like Mikaela really hurt Jennifer. I should point out, by the way, in the 4th round, that was the turning point, because Mikaela landed, I think it was a big right hand. I think it was one of those 1-2s, and Jennifer's nose just exploded. I mean, I don't know whether it was broken, but there was blood everywhere. Her face was a mask of blood. I thought, well, that's a bad sign. That, are we going to get a stoppage here? But she recovered well, and like I say, over the middle rounds up to the 8th or 9th, she looked okay. The blood was still flowing, but she looked okay. Tough lady, this Jennifer Han is a tough lady. But you did think, okay, she's going to go the distance. Then in the 9th round, she was hurt for the first time. Mikaela landed, like I say, one of those 1-2s. I think the big right hand hurt her. And for the first time, it was really a case of Mikaela almost running after Jennifer. Jennifer was in retreat, and she was skidding around, and she didn't look as steady as she had done. She looked quite uncomfortable in there. But she saw out the round, and again, we're talking those 2-minute rounds where if you get someone hurt, you haven't got time to get your work done. She survived that round, and in the 10th, I gave that to Mikaela again. So I had it 98-92. You certainly make a case for it being 99-91. Maybe even a whitewash, I don't know. But 98-92 on my card, and a pretty clear win, a very clear win for Mikaela Mayer. Now, in the post-fight interview, Mikaela said that she wanted the stoppage, but again, she advocates 3-minute rounds. And I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be 12 threes instead of 10 threes. As I keep saying in the videos that I do, 10 twos is 20 minutes of fighting, which is only 2 minutes more than a men's 6-rounder. So you haven't got time to get your work done. And most of the female boxers I've spoken to want 3-minute rounds. So I would definitely advocate that. But in terms of Mikaela, who defended her 3 titles for the however many times it was, second or third time, she says she wants Baumgardner. Baumgardner is a big super feather. The physical strength difference between Mikaela Mayer and Jennifer Han was striking. She looked much bigger, broader shouldered, stronger legs, and Jennifer just couldn't handle the strength, the physical strength, and had to rely on the movement and the counters. Didn't work out. But she won't have that luxury, Mikaela, against Alycia Baumgardner. I'd have to think about who I would make favourite in that fight. But both ladies have got some skills. I would probably, thinking of it, just a sort of off-the-cuff hunch, I would slightly favour Mikaela Mayer. But Baumgardner can fight, don't make any mistake about it. And it's one of the most attractive female fights out there. Now, Mikaela Mayer has re-signed with Top Rank. And whenever I hear about female fighters signing with Top Rank, I always think, well, what must you think about Bob Arum's comments about women's boxing? Doesn't sell, no one cares about it. But there she is, she signed again. And she's, I'm on the big stage, I'm on top, I'm headlining a Top Rank card, and Baumgardner's on the undercard of a Matchroom show. Yeah, but Eddie Hearn's done a damn sight more for women's boxing than Bob Arum. We have to admit, whichever way you slice and dice it, that's the case. Maybe Arum is looking after Mikaela and he's paying her well, and clearly she's got the belts, and I hope so, because she deserves it. But of the 2 promotional setups, without question, Matchroom have done far more for women's boxing than Top Rank. Does this little political thing mean that the Baumgardner-Mayer fight won't happen? I suppose it's possible, isn't it? Politics gets in the way of so many good matchups. But make no mistake about it, in the women's super featherweight division, we want a unified champ. Baumgardner's got one of the belts. Mikaela Mayer's got the other 3. Let's put them together and see who the undisputed champ is. So that's my spiel for today on that particular fight, on that particular matchup. I'm looking forward to it. Hope it can be made. you know, Aram and Eddie need to get their heads together, and Matchroom and Top Rank, they can do a joint promotion. Why not? Why not? But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for, as always, for listening in. Much love to all of you. Hope you had a nice week, nice Easter. Mine wasn't too bad. Been out for a long, long walk in the sun. Very nice it was too. And of course, we'll speak again. Hit subscribe. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Go on, it takes a second. Pop the subscribe button. Thanks a lot. Leave your comments below. Hit like. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.